The Wicked film begins with the introduction of the magical land of Oz, where a wizard rules from the Emerald City. Here, animals can talk and even hold roles like professors in colleges. However, the harmony between humans and animals has deteriorated over the years, worsening significantly when the Wicked Witch of the West terrorized the land. Ultimately, she was defeated by a bucket of water thrown by a young girl. Glinda the Good, an assistant to the wizard, arrives in Oz to share good news with the people. The film also provides glimpses into the Wicked Witch's life. Her father was a governor of Munchkinland, and her mother was a woman who engaged in infidelity, resulting in the birth of the witch named Elphaba. From birth, Elphaba was treated differently. Her own father rejected her, leaving her care to the kind nanny, Dulcibert. Later, her little sister, Nessarose, was born. Unbeknownst to many, Elphaba possessed magical powers that would activate when she became angry. Just as she was about to depart, a girl accused Glinda that she was a friend to the witch. Glinda, without denying the accusation, proceeded to recount their past friendship and its eventual end. Glinda, formerly known as Galinda during her college days, is now joining the prestigious Shiz University. Her ambition is to become the greatest sorceress in the world. Galinda quickly becomes popular among her classmates and is surprised to find Elphaba green. Galinda quickly makes a spectacle of Elphaba, saying if she needs help solving her problem of being green. Everyone cheers for Galinda's hospitality, which Elphaba knows is fake, so she quickly puts her in her place by saying that she hasn't gotten the skills to help her. Everyone's stunned. Just then, her father and Nessarose storm down and reprimand her for drawing attention to herself. Her father hands Nessarose her mother's shoe as a parting gift. Elphaba achingly watches the whole show, wishing he would at least show an ounce of affection towards her, but alas, it won't happen, and she knows it. Elphaba offers a few words of comfort as her sister is about to start a new chapter. Nessarose happily leaves, and her father orders Elphaba to stay with her sister until she settles into the new routine. However, Elphaba feels it's not right and conveys this to her father, but he's adamant and forces her to attend the college anyway. The faculties are being introduced on stage. A goat, a genius history teacher, and a distinguished scholar called Dr. Dillamond is introduced. Next, Madame Morrible, the Dean of Sorcery Studies, is introduced. Galinda seeks the dean, claiming she personally requested a seminar through a letter. However, the dean informs Galinda that she only takes special students and leaves. Galinda's hopes are crushed after hearing those words from the dean, but determined, she decides she won't give up. Elphaba is with her sister, Nessarose, when Miss Cottle, a faculty member, starts a conversation with Nessarose. However, when Miss Cottle spots Elphaba, she's visibly shocked and quickly wheels Nessarose away. Feeling angry, Elphaba's powers, which often spiral out of control when she's upset, activate. She causes damages to the property and gets her sister back. Everyone is shocked and scared of Elphaba except for the dean. The dean is actually quite impressed by Elphaba's power and lies to the students, saying that she caused the commotion with her magic to prepare them for the unexpected. Everyone claps and disperses. Then, the dean assigns Elphaba to share a room with Galinda and asks her to tag along with her. The dean sees Elphaba as her next prodigy, but of course, Galinda isn't too happy about this arrangement. Elphaba opens up to the dean, explaining how her power often manifests when she's angry. The dean believes that Elphaba can harness this power to work alongside the Wizard of Oz, a renowned magician in the land of Oz. Elphaba, who has always idolized the Wizard of Oz since childhood, is overjoyed. She dreams of a future where she can finally be comfortable in her own skin as a wizard, respected not for her appearance, but for her abilities. She envisions a future where her sister can be proud to be seen with her, and her father can finally feel proud of her. Elphaba reaches Galinda's suite, and their animosity, which began at the campus gate, reignites. Galinda asks Elphaba to put in a good word with the dean, but Elphaba, who despises Galinda, refuses. From then on, they constantly try to one-up each other. One day, Professor Dillamond is teaching the students about how animals are now restricted from speaking and are increasingly being fired from their workplaces due to a great drought that has made people hungry and angry. They blame the animals for their misfortunes. Galinda interjects, suggesting they should focus on the future, not the past. However, the professor insists that analyzing the past is crucial to understanding the present circumstances. The professor, appalled, notices someone has written on the board that animals should simply be observed, not listened to. Feeling dazed, the professor dismisses the class. Elphaba, however, stays behind to help the professor and is kind to him. At the dean's office, Elphaba tries to levitate a coin, but fails. The dean, knowing that Elphaba's true power emerges when she's angry, mentions the incident happened today in Mr. Dillamond's class. This works. Elphaba becomes angry on behalf of Dillamond, and the coin breaks the window. The dean appreciates her power and says she will soon be able to meet the Wizard of Oz. At night, Elphaba tries to make sure Mr. Dillamond is okay and follows him to his house, where she finds a group of animals expressing their grief over the human's action of jailing animals. Dillamond notices Elphaba and invites her inside, but the other animals flee in fear. Elphaba insists that they all should go forward and inform the Wizard of Oz. However, Mr. Dillamond firmly rejects the idea and asks her to keep this information to herself. On her way back to campus, Elphaba is knocked down by a man named Fiyero, who is actually the Prince of Winky Country. However, Elphaba is unimpressed by his handsome appearance and dislikes his shallow personality. The university students are excited about his arrival. Naturally, Glinda, ever the popularity seeker, sets her sights on the prince as a potential boyfriend to maintain her social status. Glinda and Fiyero hit it off right away. She shows him the library, and he's surprised to learn that she hasn't been to Osterstallung, a place known for its wild parties, but also its illegal activities. This explains why he was expelled from his previous college. He invites her and a few classmates to attend. Buck, who has a crush on Glinda, asks her for a dance at the party tonight. Since she doesn't return his feelings, she encourages him to ask Nessarose instead. To his surprise, Nessarose agrees. Elphaba's sister, overjoyed, tells her that a boy asked her to dance, thanks to Glinda's suggestion. Elphaba is visibly surprised by Glinda's selfless act. As everyone preps for the party, Elphaba's entrance sends Glinda's friends scattering. Surprisingly, Glinda invites her, handing her a pointy hat, a family heirloom. The party kicks off, and everyone's having a blast. Suddenly, the dean arrives, not to scold them, but to hand Glinda the magic wand and announce that she'll be her magic tutor. She reveals that Elphaba requested this, leaving Glinda stunned. Elphaba arrives at the party, facing jeers and laughter due to her attire. Undeterred, she starts dancing with incredible energy and style. Glinda joins in, encouraging her, and soon everyone follows their lead. Finally feeling accepted, Elphaba smiles tearfully and hugs Glinda. Their bond deepens, and Glinda opens up about her plans to marry the prince. She also asks Elphaba to share a secret she's never told anyone. Elphaba reveals a heartbreaking truth. She was responsible for her sister's disability. Her father forced her mother to drink milk flowers daily to prevent Nessarose from being born with a similar appearance to Elphaba. This led to a premature birth and the tragic loss of her mother. Glinda reassures Elphaba that it wasn't her fault. To distract her, Glinda plays a dress-up game, ultimately convincing Elphaba of her natural beauty. The following morning, with Glinda's help, Elphaba wears a beautiful dress. At class, Mr. Dillamond informs his students it will be his last class, as animals are no longer permitted to teach. Everyone's shocked to hear the news. Before he can elaborate on that matter, a group of men arrives and takes him away. Elphaba, visibly angry at the unfair dismissal, is helpless to intervene. The new history teacher brings a lion cub in a cage, explaining that this will be the future for all animals. The cage will act as a barrier, preventing animals from communicating with each other. Elphaba, fed up with the injustice, angrily knocks the flowers down with her power, which causes everyone, including Glinda, to fall asleep, except for the prince. They both go to release the lion cub into the forest, sharing an intimate moment before parting ways. Elphaba, saddened by the reality that a prince like him could never love someone like her, accepts that he will always choose someone like Glinda. The next day, Elphaba receives a special letter from the Wizard of Oz, inviting her to the Emerald City. She's overjoyed. Glinda expresses her sadness at the thought of parting ways, but Elphaba assures her that she'll be fine with Fiyero. However, Glinda reveals that Fiyero hasn't been the same since the incident with Mr. Dillamond. The prince arrives and reminds Elphaba that he can't forget that day, indicating their intimate moment with each other. However, Glinda, misinterpreting his mood as remorse for Mr. Dilliman's dismissal, tries to impress him by announcing her intention to change her name from Glinda to Glinda, a name Mr. Dilliman often used for her. As the train prepares to depart, Elphaba bids everyone farewell. Just then, Glinda hands her a booklet containing information about the Emerald City. Unexpectedly, she asks Elphaba to accompany her. Together they embark on their journey to the Emerald City, where they receive a royal welcome and meet the legendary Wizard of Oz. He speaks about the creation of the Emerald City and gifts Elphaba a figurine of herself. The Dean also arrives to assist Elphaba. Elphaba is then introduced to the Grimoire, an ancient magical book of wisdom. Elphaba opens the grimoire. The wizard introduces his guard, a monkey, and shares his fondness for watching birds fly. As soon as Elphaba utters the word bird, the page automatically turns to a cryptic passage. The dean explains that most people can't read it, but Elphaba can. She begins to chant the words, and the monkey starts growing wings, visibly in pain. Distressed by the suffering of the monkeys, Elphaba asks the dean how to reverse the spell, but she reveals that spells cast using the grimoire cannot be undone. Elphaba learns a shocking truth. The wizard doesn't possess real magical power. He and the dean have been spreading misinformation about animals being enemies to unite the people. Appalled by this deception, Elphaba storms away in anger. The dean turns the wrath of the flying monkeys towards Elphaba, stating that she was the one who caused their pain. Meanwhile, Glinda tries to convince her friend to accept the wizard's offer, reminding her of her lifelong dream. However, Elphaba refuses, disillusioned by the truth. The dean announces to the people of Oz that a new enemy with green skin threatens their land. Elphaba casts a spell, summoning a flying broom. Glinda ties a black robe around Elphaba and she escapes, leaving Glinda behind. And so, Part 1 concludes. I was utterly captivated by the film's enchanting narrative and stunning visuals. The intricate plot, filled with unexpected twists and turns, kept me hooked from the very beginning. The characters were incredibly well developed, each with their own unique strengths and flaws. Their journeys were both inspiring and heartbreaking, making it easy to empathize with their struggles and triumphs. The film's exploration of themes such as power, identity, and the nature of good and evil was both profound and timely. The stunning visual effects and the powerful performances of the cast further elevated the overall experience. I particularly enjoyed the dynamic relationship between Elphaba and Glinda, as it evolved from rivalry to friendship. Their contrasting personalities and their shared journey made for a compelling and heartwarming arc. I'm eagerly anticipating the second part to witness the continuation of this extraordinary tale. The cliffhanger ending has left me yearning for more, and I'm confident that the filmmakers will deliver another visually stunning and emotionally resonant cinematic experience.